Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to another Elden Ring run. And in this one we are doing katanas only, baby. Katanas. Because you've never seen this done before on YouTube or anywhere else, done by anyone at all. So yeah, we first need to make our character. I made them all red and a little bit chunky. I was gonna do skinny, but we decided to do chunky just because why not? And then we name him Blood Boy. Next, after this, we head to Limgrave, grab the few first graces and some smithing stones, stuff like that. Anything along the way to sell or that would help me out to upgrade later game. Then we get our trusty steed Torrent and make our way to Caelid. From Caelid, we head to these ruins, which are actually right off the main road, which is pretty convenient. We started off with the Samurai class, which comes with the Uchi Katana, which is Bless Up Phase 420 place it, you know. So in the runes, there is another katana called the Meteorite Ore Blade or something like that, and we didn't have stats to use it or its ability, so we then have to go get some runes so we can level up. Also in Caelid, I'd figure I'd try this cave out with the Magma Worm, since if you beat this boss, it does drop the Moonveil katana, which is a pretty good katana to have early or late game. But yeah, I pretty much got wrecked here, so I was unable to beat that boss. But we come back to it later and whoop his Magma Worm booty cheeks. So since we got my cheeks collapsed, I figured I'd go gather pretty much everything else. The Physic Flask, both pieces of the medallion, and then also in Caelid, I figured I'd grab Radagon's Sword Seal, since just for the extra stats, and I didn't have any other talismans at the time, so it does help out just a little bit. In Limgrave, we also go grab our Spirit Bell and the Wolf Ashes, so we can clamp Margit, Befell Omen. So we head our way over to Margit. This fight was pretty easy. We pretty much just ganged on him the whole time, and he went down pretty quick with the Uchi Katana with its bleed. Margit's a pretty easy fight in general, and once he's dead, we get a talisman slot, so we can now use the Radagon Sword Seal to our advantage. We then go through the main gate like a absolute Giga Chad we are. Next up is Godrick. This boss is also pretty easy. I would say easier than Margit, just because he's a bit slower and a bit chunkier of a boy. I think in this fight we actually do die just like once or twice, but we do eventually get the dub, and tell me how the flames went over the stairs and killed me, I don't even know. But anyways, it is what it is. We then go back and whoop his booty cheeks. It does take a little bit of time since we did not even upgrade our weapon. We're using a level 1 spawn Uchi Katana. So, even with its bleed, it's still just a slow battle. Once Godrick was defeated, I then figured I'd go around doing some catacombs and stuff like that. Pretty much just leveling up our health and our stats so we can use our other katana, and so we'd be a little bit stronger for the Tree Sentinel, because he is the worst boss in the game and a pain. And I also went to the bottom island of Limgrave where this cat dude is at, and he drops the demi-human spirit ashes, which are super good. And with the ashes, I go down through the castle at the very bottom of the map and fight this dude. He's very strong, very fast, but my demi-humans are stronger than him, so he goes down pretty easily here. I also then decide to fight this giant Erdtree avatar, since he does drop Bubble Tear, and since I was at the bottom of Limgrave and I had nothing else in my Physic Flask, I figured I'd just whoop his booty cheeks and get that, just to have a little bit more protection while my health was that low. Now that we have a few upgrades and we're able to use both katanas, and we have our Spirit Ashes, and we have the Bubble Tear, and just more flasks in general, I figured we'd go back and give the Magma Worm a few good tries here. I do die a few times because he likes to do this walking motion and just absolutely kill everything, and when his lava's on the ground, it is an absolute pain, but we do manage to get some staggers on him and take him out. And get the Moonveil. The Moonveil does take quite a few bit of stats, so we're unable to use it at the time, but we do end up switching to it later on in the run. Next up, I'd figured I'd go for Rennala, since I figured with Katanas and Bleed she'd be pretty easily, which means we have to get through this Red Wolf dog to get to her, which this fight is pretty fast and easy. The dog takes quite a bit of damage from our sword, since, I mean, I think at this point I had 1 or 2 upgrades under my belt, and yeah, the dog is weak to katanas. Next up, it is the Moon Queen herself, and she did put up a very good fight. Her first phase is easy as always, and mainly I was just worried about getting Kamanazord or dying from her Spirit Ashes, since my health is pretty low. The dragon or the Bloodfang Hound or whatever could do quite a bit of damage on me, so just being cautious in that matter. Once Rennala is down, we then go to my troll EG and level up with some somber smithing stones, such as our Moonveil and our Warblade. I also figured at this point I'd head to Radahn, since he shouldn't be too bad of a fight at this point, and we take him out. Once Radahn is down, I then go down his gaping hole, and we then go get our Mimic tier pretty much, which means we have to fight our Mimic boss and head to the Mimic. Once we got our Mimic, I figured it was about time we head to the Tree Sentinel and take him out. And as always, this boss is usually a big pain to take out, because in my opinion he's just way too strong and way too powerful. Most of his hits one-shot me, so that's why I went back and did some catacombs and stuff to level our health, because we just kept getting one-shotted. Even here, not being a one-shot, it took quite a few tries, and this was one of the harder bosses to beat in this run. Once taken out, we head straight for Gold Godfrey, and pretty much we just head for all the bosses at this point. I was boss hungry, and I knew Golden Godfrey is one of the funnest fights. I love this fight, and it's also pretty easy, so pretty much just duck and dodge and weave around until you kill him. And yeah, it was pretty easy. I did manage to get a few staggers in here as well, because somehow this ghost is able to be staggered. I'm not exactly sure how that works, but it works. Once Gold Godfrey was defeated, we head straight for Margit, since it's right after this fight, and we go whoop his booty cheeks. I think I did die a few times to his second phase. His second phase is always tricky for me. Don't know why, just is. And he's very strong as well if his blade connects. After Margit, we then pretty much straight head for a Fire Giant. We also grab some somber smithing stones and other smithing stones along the way as well, just to keep leveling up our weapons as much as we can. Also grabbing the somber minor bell bearing off of this dead body that's just chilling here, which also helps us upgrade our weapons as well. I figured since we were in the snow biome as well from Minecraft, we would then also grab our Rivers of Blood, since I figured that would be a pretty good weapon to have, and I already previously got the levels to use it. So the Rivers of Blood we will be using from now on. And to get it, it was super easy. You pretty much just fall off and let the dude fall off with you. Next up is Fire Giant. He's usually a big old pain, but our bleed damage was doing some pretty good damage here. And even with that, I still died, I think, quite a few times on this fight. He's just a huge tank, pretty much, that just eats damage. Mostly it was from his phase 2, because of his rolls and his sunballs he likes to spawn in, but sooner than later we then take out his sunballs and kill him, which is awesome. Once Fire Giant is dead, this random chick comes up again for the 8th time in this run, and she does some fire magic. We then also have a good amount of smithing stones, so we can keep upgrading our Rivers of Blood and Ore Blade, or Moonveil, whatever weapon I use. Next up is the Godskin duos, and you can actually sneak past the first few guards. If you didn't know, you pretty much sneak up to this post here, right before the stairs, and the guard will walk up, do a 90-degree turn, and you can sneak past Milly Willy, grab the smithing stone or whatever it is, and head down the stairs. You can just run past the second guard, which should be in this hallway to the left. But you pretty much just keep on running. He might or might not chase you, but yeah, pretty easy strat. Anyway, Godskin duo time. This fight usually goes how it always goes. It is usually a pain. I pretty much 1v1 the big dude while the summons took out the skinny dude. The Rivers of Blood was doing actually pretty good work and damage on them, so this fight was pretty fast. I was also like a 2-shot this whole fight, so I did have to be careful because I could usually just die. I would usually just die pretty fast within a combo that they would do. But one at a time, after they kept spawning in, we do take them out slowly but surely. Also, I think I was 2,000 points short from upgrading, so if you go back to the foot of the Forge Grace, there will be this giant hand on the side of the wall, and if you just run up just a little bit, it will fall and crush the bird and give you 1,000 points every single time, and you can just sit, rinse and repeat that process over and over for as many times as you like. There is other farms that are faster and get more points, but this is the farm that I had, and it is pretty quick. It's about 1,000 points every, few seconds. We upgrade, and then we head through the birds and the lightning and the giant dragon at the end, of course. The dragon was being a pain, and he wouldn't have flied away, so I run to the side here, and it lets him fly away, leaving us with one bird still chasing us, and then we can double back and go get a rune and a smithing stone. We also grab this somber bell bearing as well, leading up to Maliketh, which should help us finish our upgrades on our Rivers of Blood, and for the most part on the Moonveil as well. Now that our Rivers is maxed out and our Moonveil is pretty high leveled up, I figured it was Maliketh time, and this shouldn't be too bad of a fight because I love Maliketh and I loved learning his moveset. His first phase ate the blood pretty good until we got a bleed out, but I actually felt like my damage was not doing too good in this fight, which is foreshadowing for future bosses, so yeah. His phase 2 was also pretty simple here, and I believe I first tried this, no problem, no doubt, too easy, Maliketh down. Gideon's up next. I got him pretty low health the very first time, and then I wanted to see if my Mimic could destroy him, and yeah, my Mimic dies, and I die, and he is an inch away from uninstalling the game himself. I then said no mercy, and pretty much Rivers of Blood just absolutely destroys him. Even with his heal, he stood pretty much no chance while my Mimic distracted. I was able to drink a blue flask and take him out. Once Gideon was dead, I pretty much just pour all the runes into my health, and head for Godfrey. This fight did take a few tries because Godfrey is Godfrey and does his Mega Stomps, and my health just was not high enough to be able to compete with his Mega Stomps, and his Mega Stomps, and his Mega Womps, and his Mega Axe Throws, and all that jazz that he does. Welcome back, and when phase 2 hits, I pretty much spawn in my Mimic to try to do a little bit more damage on Hoaraloo, because Hoaraloo really loves to spam and whoops my booty cheeks every time. And with his stomps, I kept trying to heal, but he likes to stomp whenever I heal, which is annoying. So I was pretty much out of heals at this point, and he is an inch from death, so I will let you enjoy the rest of this footage. And yeah, wasn't even close. I totally had him. I totally had more heal flasks. It is what it is. He dead. I'm up. He down. He bad. I'm good. Next up was Radagon, and so yeah, I think this fight pretty much explains itself. My weapon just was not doing the damage that I liked or needed, which means RIP Alexander for his shard, RIP this dude for his armor, and RIP this horse for Golden Vow. With those 3 items, I felt pretty confident, but I also went through Ronnie's questline, which means we have to fight this horse, which was pretty easy first try-er. No problem, no doubt. In my mind, we were losing that fight, no doubt. We then go get some more Ghost Gloveworth, such as 6, 7, 8, 9, and our Great Ghost Gloveworth, which should max out our Mimic Summit. I then also have a close 1v1 with this chick. Definitely close, I almost died. Was definitely scared. After that, I head back to the round table, and of course, I was short on runes, so hopefully you enjoy this next clip of me farming some runes, because I was too lazy to go to a different farm. Enjoy. Now with the runes, we have a max level Mimic, and this is the final setup. And at last, with everything pretty much upgraded to max, and our Mimic tier at plus 10, we could now actually have a decent fight against Radagon. I don't know what was going on with this fight, I just kept getting hit. I could not stop getting hit in this fight. It was just a pain. I knew once I got to Elden Beast though, I had a better chance. The only move I really struggle at is the Elden Stars, because it's pretty much unavoidable sometimes. So yeah. Luckily though, I did have a few flasks that I was able to use and heal. And yeah, this boss went pretty smooth as well. About midway through, I did start doing some charged heavies, and luckily enough, right when he did Elden Stars, I managed to get a stagger, and with the stagger, I was able to do a lot of damage and get the stagger as well. And we pretty much take him out pretty easily after that. Anyway, guys, hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did like it, please leave a like and maybe a good comment or something down below, and maybe also comment a run idea in the future, and I might be able to do it as well. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next one.
Our seed will look back upon us and recall an age of fragile.